Writer, artist and entertainer. Let's learn how Kimia does so well in all these disciplines, from films to web series to music videos, and more. This is a recording of a live broadcast, so expect some imperfections during the show. There was some editing performed on the original recording. Enjoy the show.
Okay, hello everybody. Here we are. It's the Supporter Hashtag Creatives podcast. My name is Alan Greenstein. I'm the founder and producer at Supporter Hashtag Creatives. And the goal of our organization, we level the playing field for underrepresented creators and artists so that they have the same opportunities as everyone else to get their projects created, distributed, and seen. I'm also on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation. The goal of the Bella Levy Foundation is to fight human trafficking and to provide a safe haven for its warriors. So I'm so excited tonight. We have Kimia Workman with us. She's an actress, writer, producer, director, singer, songwriter, and all kinds of things. So welcome, Kimia. And why don't you make a brief introduction about yourself? And we'll be on our way.
Okay, well, glad to be here, Alan. Thanks for having me. I am everything that you said: actor, writer, producer, director, songwriter, artist, recording artist. And I've been doing it for a long time, and I love it. It's absolutely my passion. And I can't see myself doing nothing else. So I think maybe acting going on, the 16, 17 years? It might be a little more than that, but I know, right?
Yeah, fantastic. So you have all these different disciplines as a multi-hyphenate. So tell us how you got your start. Which of those elements was the first one to come into your life?
So one thing that I did miss, two things that I did miss. I was a former radio personality as well as a former dancer and choreographer. So I got into it at a very early age, like the age of 5 or 6. My parents put me into dance, and I grew up over in East Baltimore. So there was this school called the Anna Apicella School of Dance, where they taught you ballet, tap, jazz, modern. So I learned all these different forms of dance at a very early age, which carried over into attending elementary school and being in a bunch of the fashion shows and a bunch of dance shows. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun, but that is how I got my start, dance.
Okay, dance is the first. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah. So, how did you first get into acting?
So acting was something that I never really saw as a career, So in 5th grade, they came to me. We had like a group of mentors who would run the fashion shows and things like that. So they wanted me to do my instrument. I also played the instrument, so I played the clarinet. Ooh. And they wanted me to play the clarinet and dance. And they also asked me to act. They were doing a play called "It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing." And so I wound up doing the acting portion and the dance portion, but not the instrument, because I was like, it's going to be a lot to kind of juggle here. So that was the first time that I actually tried acting, was in a play in 5th grade. And then I didn't get back into the arts until high school, because like all through middle school, I transitioned to be an athlete. And so when we got to high school and we had electives that we could choose, I chose theater as my elective. And then from that moment on, that became my favorite class of the day. and I just could not wait to go to theater class. And I took it all 4 years of high school. I took it all 4 years of college. So, and then even after college, I went to an acting school. So that's when I really was like, okay, I'm gonna take this seriously. I think this is something that I really want to do alongside of, at the time, I wanted to be a radio and a TV personality too. So that's what I went to school to be, but I was always taking theater classes too.
Oh, you said you were a radio personality for a while. What's radio station were you on?
Yeah, so my degree is actually in broadcast journalism and communications. So I went to two schools. I went to Baltimore City Community College, and I did 2 years there. And then I did 2 years at Morgan State University. So I graduated from both. And then what happened was my plan was to get into TV. I thought I wanted to be a news broadcaster, right?
Oh.
So I quickly found out though that that wasn't the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to be a TV personality, but not in news. I wanted to do the entertainment stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I wound up trying to do that a little bit, but then an opportunity opened up at 92Q, and I wound up getting an internship, and it was called the K-Swift Memorial Scholarship. And they asked, it was a contest going on, so they had us actually like interview people. They wanted to know how we would interview people if we were to host the Stone Soul Picnic, what they used to have back in the day. So I wound up doing the contest. I submitted my tape in, and I got selected. And then that opened up an opportunity for an internship with 92Q, which months later they actually hired me. And then months after that, I finally got my shot to be on air.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
remember that I was over at Morgan State. We did some filming there, so many projects. Yeah, I know a lot of people in the area, obviously, who've gone to Morgan State.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to MSU.
Yep. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So let's I want to jump to series where I first got to be working with you, called Shock Nation.
Yes.
Tell us about the series Shock Nation.
So Shock Nation was inspired from this web series that I was watching at the time called Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, which was by Issa Rae. It was on YouTube at the time. And so I was like, wow, this is this is a young Black female like me that wrote this, that directed this, and she's starring in it. I was like, I want to try to do that. So that was my inspiration behind doing Shock Nation in the first place. And the storyline actually came from just a little bit of my dance storyline, because it's about a girl growing up in Baltimore City, but she's trying to find her way. She thought she found it through dance. She was inspired by her mother to want to be a dancer, but some things transpired within the family that caused her to not want to pursue that dream anymore. So I took a little bit of my dance background and what happened in my life with that, but then I took other people's stories of how you see these teenagers growing up in single family households, and some of the times it's just a hard life for them. They may have an alcoholic parent, or a parent that's on drugs, or a parent that's not around at all. So I really wanted to shine some light on that, but in the end of it, let them know that it's going to be okay, and people can always change, and people can always get better.
Yeah. Do you consider it somewhat autobiographical for you, or not?
Not with the family portion. I grew up in a two-parent household. My parents had none of those problems that the series displays. But yes, just me being a dancer, and then me losing my inspiration for dance, it had nothing to do with my family. It was just because I was juggling a lot of things at one time, that I was like, I have to put something to the side, because I was dancing, I was being a radio personality, I was still acting, I had my acting career, I still had a full-time job, and I had to balance a relationship. So I was like, I don't know how I was even doing all of that, but I said something had to go, and it was dance. And I never really got back into it, but thankfully my acting career took off anyway from that point.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, basically and how I hooked up with Kimia is that she was working on another project, another filmmaker, Sheree McCain, and I introduced myself to Kim Ye, and I found out that she was working on this a series called Shock Nation, and so I asked her if I could be part of it for the second season, and she said yes, and I'm really happy about that, and she gave me the role of script supervisor, which is really something. This is really quite an important role, and I really had a great time with being the script supervisor, because you basically have to learn the whole script, know what's coming up, and once again, help people with their lines as necessary. So that was good. So that's how we came to meet, was that way.
And don't only say you were a script supervisor, because Alan also helped on sound, and he was also a producer.
Yeah, that's true too. And also, I even at the last second, I even got to be on camera.
Yes, and he played a teacher.
That's right, which is perfect, and nobody was paying any attention to me. The students were putting on their makeup or sleeping, not paying any attention at all. Yeah, but that was in a sense, and I just kind of improvised. I started talking about calculus, and so that's what I did, and so that was really fun. So that was completely what we call it, completely improvised there. It wasn't the script, but I just kind of took with it. So that was really I think that was probably my very first time on screen speaking.
Wow, well, you did great.
Yeah, thanks. And ultimately, I also have to say that I won my first award for best production assistant. I also did production assistant work too during that. So I had a bunch of different roles, but the one that stands out, as I said, is the script supervisor.
Yeah,
that's very important. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So So that was Shock Nation. It lasted there was 2 seasons worth of it. And is it available to watch anywhere currently?
So it was season 1 and season 2 was on YouTube, but I'm currently in the process of shopping season 1, so I had to take it off of YouTube. But yes, they can still go watch season 2. But as soon as I find out where it's gonna be, I'm blasting that thing.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere I go, people talk about Shock Nation, because it made such an impact in the DMV/Baltimore area.
Thank you.
Is my opinion. That's what I think. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what else we have to talk about here. Well, now we have to say, let's talk about your music. So eventually we got to the point where you started. How did you get into music and singing and songwriting?
So that initially, a thought came to me when I was in middle school. Just a thought, because I still didn't think that I was going to be doing anything else but playing basketball, to be honest with you. Like, I loved basketball. That was what I was doing all through my middle school years. It was just basketball. I was focused. I was in leagues and everything. So by the time I went to high school, like I said earlier, I chose theater as an elective, but my focus was still sports. So in high school, I was a 3-season athlete. So I played basketball, volleyball, and softball.
Wow.
So whole time, I'm not thinking music or acting was going to be a career that I was actually going to pursue in my adulthood. But in middle school, I love hip hop. Like, I grew up listening to Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Total, Missy Elliott, the whole, it was a bunch of movements. Flip Mode Squad movement, Dipset, Timbaland, Magoo, Missy had their thing going on. So I grew up on all this music, and I absolutely loved it because I already loved to dance, right? So there was one particular artist that just caught my attention, and it was Lil Kim. Like, I was really like rapping her lyrics. I was thinking I was, Lil Kim. Like, I knew all of her songs. Every time she had a new single, I'm trying to get that single. So, I started trying to like kind of freestyle a little bit, but eventually it was just like, whatever. I think I might have mentioned it to my dad like one time, but he thought that I was like not serious. So So I was like, yeah, whatever. But then, basketball got really busy for me with my sports. So I never thought about it again until after I was dancing. I was out of college already. And I started dancing for this artist who's my best friend to this day called Kia Calloway. I was her choreographer.
Yeah.
So being around music and being on stages and meeting a bunch of different artists, that kind of made me think about rapping again. And I'm like, I love performing. I loved being on the stage as a background dancer, but something in me felt like I'm supposed to be doing something even more. So that's when I kind of started trying to, write, and I developed this girl group that I thought was gonna like blow up. I thought it was gonna be the next Salt and Pepper, and she totally like ghosted me. And so then I started to be a solo artist. That only lasted a few months because then I met a group called FYL. Shout out to FYL. These dudes, like, they really like took me in as a sister and like was showing me the game a little bit. And we did a few shows, and ultimately I just decided to like just leave rap because, like I said, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, well, let me just focus on my acting career. But yeah, I mean, I just got the inspiration from being on stage, and I was just like, I'm gonna try it, and that's what I did. And then it wasn't until years later where music actually came back to me through film. So
Okay.
that's when it started really taking off.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna stop for a brief commercial, and then we'll be right back, and we'll talk about more about with your singing career.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Creatives. At Support Our Creatives, I offer a number of services to support those developing a project. Check out the services tab of my website at supportourcreatives.com. If you are interested, please use the contact tab on my website or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. Okay, so when we first before the commercial, you were about to get into singing in a big way. So let's continue the story.
Okay, yeah. So it came back to me actually through Shock Nation. Music was something that never left my heart, but I took maybe like oh my god, it was probably like an eight-year break from music, but it's crazy how it came back to me through film. So we had season 2 premiere, and I had somebody come out that had a really close relationship with Kathy Hughes at the time, and so we were trying to get something going with TV1 or BET, whatever we could get. So he wanted to know more about the music in the show because he was a music producer, and he wanted to make sure that we had rights to the music before he would like pitch it. So the theme song, it was the instrumental in the theme song. I think it was some issues with that. So he started giving me beats, and then I just started writing to them. And I'm like, oh, I got the theme song for you. So once I took him the theme song, he was like, all right, let me hear how it goes. And I'm like, nah, I'm not a rapper, but if you got some rappers that you think would be good for it, we could use them. So ultimately, he was like, I just want to hear it. I rapped it. He was like, all right, cool. Go to the studio and record it. And at first I was like, no, I don't want to be a rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm focused on film. I'm a writer. I'm a director. I'm an actor. Man, I recorded that song, and I've been writing ever since. I have not stopped writing. 4 mixtapes later, a EP and an album, and I still got music that's not even out yet. That's waiting to be released.
Wow, that is amazing. I want to say hi. I want to say hi to June Giso. He's the filmmaker I've been in a lot of projects with as executive producer and is acting with him and Randy Greenstein. You know her.
Hi.
And, so she's also tuned in.
Awesome.
So hi guys. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's see. All right, so tell us about your current music project. But if you have anything that's going to be coming out soon or is out right now that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I do have an EP called Back to Self. It's on all major music platforms, whatever you have is out there. And my latest album that came out in 2021. My latest album came out last October, and it's called Love to Hate Me. So both of them have the number 2 in it because 2 is
Hmm.
my favorite number, and my birthday is on the second. So it's called Back to Self, and then Love to Hate Me. And with that project, it talks a lot about my life story. It goes from, heartache, relationship heartache, to losing friendships, to depression, and then just having to like find yourself again. Like I have a track called On My Own featuring my homeboy, may he rest in peace. Shout out to J Money. But that's about, now you gotta find yourself, and now you all on your own. So what you gonna do? You have to own it, right? And then it ends with all the things that you've been through. Now look at where you are. It's so amazing. And you have nobody to thank but God, for me. So it just goes through a nice little storyline. I absolutely love that album. I put a lot into that album, so definitely go check that out. It's called Love to Hate Me. And then also my manager Swag, shout out to Swagmatic Music, and he just released his album called 50 like 2 months ago, and we just shot our first music video for his single off of that. So it's featuring me and just him. So that video is going to be dropping, like, it might drop this week, but the name of the album is called 50. I'm on a few songs on there, but the single from that is called Top of the Mountain. So I'm excited for that music video. And shout out to everybody that was a part of the music video. You might see a little appearance from Eli, you might see appearance from Marno, Imani, aka Jewel. So thanks to everybody that helped out with that video. Joy, Mark, and Aaron, and it was shot by Swagged Out Shots Multimedia. So I'm sorry, Swagged Out Multimedia. And then he got Swagged Out Shots Photography. But yeah, that video is gonna be dope. So we waiting for that to drop, and then I'll be dropping another single, hopefully by the summertime.
Oh yeah, okay. Is that single from the album, same album as Love to Hate Me, or where is that? Where does that come from? Was that a standalone single?
I think I'm gonna make it a standalone single. We gonna see.
Okay.
We gonna see. I had 2 singles off of the Love to Hate Me album that I did music videos for. So I still been promoting it, using the songs on like Reels, because you could use your songs on Reels on Instagram and Facebook. So I might still do like some little promo videos, but I think I'm gonna drop a new single for y'all.
Oh, that would be great. And so where is the best place for people to watch these and listen to these songs right now?
Oh yes, good question. So all my music videos are on, and all my music, even my mixtapes, they're all on YouTube. And my YouTube page, you can just search my name, Kimia Workman, or you can search Kimia Works, which is what I use for all social media. Like everything is at Kimia Works for my social media. But yeah, YouTube, it has tons of videos on there for you to watch. So please subscribe to my channel. Trying to get them subscribers up, because I got
Yeah.
some dope content that's gonna be coming.
Okay, that's right. Once again, for most of social media, just like under her name, Kimia Works. Search for that, and you'll be able to get to everything.
Yep, everything.
Everything, yeah. Okay. So let's go back to some of your film work. Recently, we hooked up at a screening at the Old Greenbelt Theater of Andrea Harris's film called The Battle.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that.
The Battle is awesome. It's about a group of very talented teenagers. They go to the same high school, and again, it's one of those stories that the story takes place in Washington D.C. So you know, in D.C. it's you got some of the same scenarios that you have in Baltimore City. You know, these kids are growing up without any type of role model, and so they wind up clicking and finding each other through music, through a music class. So the music teacher is comes to the school to bring the kids together, to give them something to live for, to give them something to give them some inspiration. And so I played the role of Carlita. Shout out to my castmates. Oh my gosh, there's so many dope people in that project. Carlita is what I get to rap. So it was so dope to be able to get to rap and act and actually like sing one of my actual songs. So two of my songs actually, I got to rap it in the actual movie. So shout out to Andre Harris Productions for that, and that movie should be coming out soon. We don't know where it's gonna be yet, but I'll definitely keep you posted.
Yeah, that's definitely great. You know, I have to point, just like you mentioned about Washington D.C. and Baltimore, this area, you know, the DMV and Baltimore City together. There's so much talent there,
Yeah,
and
so much.
you know, it's really amazing. It's a great place to, you know, if you live in this area, you know, and you're interested in getting involved in the indie world, you know, this is the place to be because there's so much that going on.
It's rising. We rising. We rising.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Another one of your projects say is called Buy for Now on Amazon Prime. Can you tell us a little about that?
Oh, I love Bye for Now. It's one of those like really great family movies. You know, you can just watch it with the whole family, any age. And it's about a girl who loses her uncle, and so he left her to be in charge of his funeral arrangements, and the aunts are not happy about it at all. So it's a really touching topic, but it's also got its comedy moments. And so I played the role of Tia, and Tia is like the funny, like, don't play around with me type of cousin. So when she comes in town, you know, we have our moments, and I don't want to give too much away, but it is an awesome movie. I would hope that y'all would go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. You can rent it. I think you can buy it or rent it. And yeah, it's called Buy for Now. Amazing cast again. Like, I don't want to forget nobody, y'all, but one of my girls, I absolutely love them as actors. They are amazing. Anna Drew, Lydia, and Amber Moore. They are phenomenal. I mean, the whole entire cast, and I mean, we have actors that were in BMF. Shout out to Rama, Lou. Like they live out in LA, and they came here to do the movie. So it's a bunch of talent. Like it's some Donnie. You see him in a bunch of DMV movies. Edme, I think this was her very first lead acting role, and she freaking killed it. Did amazing. So shout out to Queen. That's the writer and director, and the whole crew that she had with her. It's awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, and now continuing in that vein, there's a feature film that's actually your project. It's your baby. Can you tell us about The Miserable Life?
Yes, The Miserable Life was something that I wrote maybe about 7 years ago. I was working in so many call centers, y'all. So I worked in call centers for healthcare, for education. And so working in these call centers, it's some things that can go down, like it's funny things. So I was actually working at a call center when I wrote this script. And so it was just about, it's called The Miserable Life, but I don't like to say that I was miserable. I really wasn't miserable. I don't want people thinking I was like miserable because I worked. I was grateful to have a job. But I just always felt like, you know, I don't want to do this forever. Like, I'm supposed to be on the set. And so every time I would get these call center jobs, it was just like starting to become annoying to me. So I started to write a script about it. And it is, I think it is one of my best scripts yet. And it's some amazing actors that came along in this project with me. I'm so thankful and grateful for. We got Lion Beckwith. We
Oh
have
yeah.
Chi from the group Rough Ends. You know, some of my squad is in it. Swag, Marlo, Eli, Tim, Mark, even it's just so many people in it, and it's very special to me because my best friend is in it, and she actually plays my best friend, and so it's just one of those movies that I think people gonna rewatch it more than once.
Yeah. So in the life cycle of the film, where is it right now?
So the Miserable Life, we just wrapped it maybe about a month ago. So it is in the post-production stages. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
about to get edited, go through editing, go through sound, which can take, a few months. So I'm hoping to have the full film actually done, finished, and ready to be submitted by winter. Yeah, by like late fall, winter.
Okay. And what route are you going to be taking for distribution?
Say that again.
Oh, what's going to be your distribution method? Are you going to try to get it on a network, or are you going to do a film festival circuit?
Oh,
What's your thoughts on that?
definitely film festivals circuit first. Film festivals, probably do a premiere, then film festivals, and then we'll see what happens from there because I think it is definitely going to be good enough to get picked up for sure. If
Oh,
I don't self distribute it.
yeah. Okay. Well, there are so many possibilities, and
Yeah,
yeah, right.
yeah, but it's
And
a romantic comedy, so I forgot to
oh,
throw that
yeah.
out.
Oh
Romantic
well.
comedy.
Well,
Yeah,
you got me there because rom-com is my favorite kind of film to watch.
mine too. Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so how is producing a feature different than something episodic like Shock Nation?
Oh man. So Shock Nation was broken up into like weekends, and of course we having to work with the cinematographer schedule too. So it was kind of the same thing. It was broken up into a lot of different weekends. Um I would say really the main thing with the film is the continuity. The same, well, this both the same really because you have to worry about the continuity in the series and the
Oh
film.
yeah.
So just trying to get as many scenes done that you can get in that location that you need it for, so that and then it still might be another day where you have to wear the same thing, so you have to make sure you look the same exact way. So we had to do that with the both Shock Nation and with the Miserable Life too. So I mean, really no differences to me, in my opinion. Just having an amazing team really helps. So
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and on both projects, amazing team. Like I couldn't have asked for a better team from Shock Nation or from The Miserable Life. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about it though.
Yeah. Because I remember the continuity thing. Being the supervisor, I had to be concerned with that. We took photographs of people, make sure they had this knew what hairdo they had that day and what clothing they were wearing, because you might have to continue from that point because typically things are done out of sequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So it can get a little hectic, but that's why I always take your continuity photos because you never know if you're gonna have to reshoot that scene again.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. We're going to stop for another brief commercial break, and we will be right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. If you make something, albeit make a movie, start a business, write a book, make a physical product, run a nonprofit, promote people, are a songwriter, etc., you too are a creative, and I would love to have you be a guest on the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast. If you want to be featured on this podcast, please use the contact tab on my website at supportourcreatives.com, or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. And we back. Okay, so let's talk about the production company, Dare to Dream Films. Tell us all
Yeah,
about
shout
that.
out to Taisha Downer. She is the founder and CEO of Data Dream Films, and I came on as her partner. We actually worked together back in 2015 on her very first web series. She's an author, so
Wow.
a writer, author, and I was the lead in her web series in 2015 called Diamonds. And so from that point, we filmed some more. I did a small part in her movie called Ruin Agency, which is a dope movie too. And so it was about maybe 3 years ago now. Three? No. Oh my gosh. No, because it was like 2020. So like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
She came to me about wanting to start Dare to Dream Films. And our first film under that was Queen of Hearts, which is on Tubi, Amazon, Plex TV. And so that was the initial start of Dare to Dream Films. She had the idea. She was like, hey, I want to start this production company. And I think you would be the perfect partner to have. Like you've been in the game for a long time. And we both each had our own production companies. So I had True Talent Creative Works, which is my baby. That's my first time that I started a business. True Talent Creative Works was my production company that I also did consultation and coaching services. And then she had the publishing, TD Publishing. She's also a publisher. So we came together, we collabed, and since then we have some amazing movies. It's not even out yet. So Queen of Hearts is the only one that's out right now, but we have 2 feature films, The Miserable Life, Never Judge a Book by Its Cover, and I'm in both of those. And then we have our short film, we have 3 feature films. Standing Strong in Faith was our first faith-based film, and we showed that in a couple of churches. And so those films are in the process of trying to get distribution right now as we speak. They've been in film festivals already. And then we have short films that we have that are not out yet either. So we got some stuff about to be dropping very soon.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so you have a website for Dare to Dream Films?
Not an actual website yet, but we are on Facebook and Instagram at Dare to Dream Films. Everything's spelled out. Dare to Dream Films.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So if people are interested in, they can find out what's coming up with it, and they can contact you through like Facebook, for example. And
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Fantastic. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So, what advice do you have for people who want to emulate what you do, and you do so many great things? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I will say the first thing is definitely to get around people that are doing it. Don't be afraid to do stuff for free. Like it's so many people that just they're like, am I getting paid for this? Am I getting paid for this? Do you have experience yet? The main thing is get the experience. Don't worry about the monetary value of it yet. Just get on a set, get around people that are doing it, and put yourself out there. Do research. That's one of the things I had to do. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing. I just know I had these theater classes under my belt. And I didn't have any family members or friends at the time that were even in entertainment at all. So it's kind of like I had to make a way for myself. And I just started Googling stuff like, how do I get in acting? What's the best place to get acting gigs? How do you start? What are the materials that you need to even start? Because I didn't know that you needed a headshot and a resume. Like that's not something we talked about in theater class. We just, we did theater type stuff. We did plays, Shakespeare, all of this. So it really didn't prepare me to have an actual career in acting. But Yeah, you gotta, if you really want it bad enough, you're gonna figure out a way to do it. And that comes with taking classes, that comes with finding coaches, um, putting money into yourself. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. um yeah, I mean, it's so many different things out here that you can do nowadays. It's tons of YouTube videos on acting, on the music business, so you just got to be willing to put in the work.
That's great advice. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So keep that in mind, people. Yeah. And hopefully you will have the opportunity to work with Kimia. They here in
Thank
the
you.
yeah, well, here in the here in the DMV and Baltimore areas, as I said before, there's so much talent going on here. So, and if you live in this area, there's so much that you can, so many people you can reach out to. But no matter what area you live in, what Kimia says still holds, because no matter where you live, there are going to be people doing indie work for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, and we have some amazing production companies over here. So, but that's anywhere, like anywhere. Detroit is taking over the Tubi game right now.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
filming stuff in New Jersey. Oh my God, tons of stuff is being filmed in Pittsburgh and Philly. So yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be in for independent, self-made filmmakers and artists and
Yeah,
creatives. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, have you traveled far and wide to be in various projects? Oh,
I I had an opportunity to do a series in Atlanta, but I did turn it down. So I didn't do that. But I was in LA. Well, I went to LA a few times, but I was in LA specifically to take acting classes, and it was like a 7-day workshop where
hmm,
you got to meet with casting directors, you got to audition. Um, there were producers there, so that was like the biggest opportunity that I've had out of state, to be able to, actually audition for casting directors and producers that lived in LA. Never filmed anything yet there, and I've had tons of auditions in New York, so it's coming though. It's coming.
yes. Oh, I'm confident about that. Yeah. Yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, one of my favorite places, of course, is Atlanta and Los
Um,
Angeles and New York, of course, more than anything else, really. So yeah, you're hitting
yeah,
all the great spots.
those were the big three, right? Everybody wanted to get to Atlanta, New York, or LA. And I still get the question to this day, like, why didn't I move? And I when I had my opportunity, God set me down. So I had to listen. I had to be obedient, and I'm glad that I did, because we're in a day and time now where, as though, yes, it still would be nice to be around the action, but we could create our own action right here where we are. And I think that's one of the reasons that I never did move, because I always felt like, Baltimore is home. I absolutely love it. My whole family is here. And so it's like I wanted to make a way somehow for everybody in our area. So
Well, it's so great to hear you say that that you love living where you are and you're making the most of it, because you are making Baltimore one of the great places for in the indie world for right. That's the way it is.
thank
So
you. Yes.
so keep doing that, and well, and of course now I'm part of it too. So
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, and it's so, yeah. I gotta give big ups to everybody that's doing the same thing. It's fun to travel. Definitely get out there, network. But like I said, streaming services are different now. You can have a comfortable life with your family, right where you're from, and still be seen on Netflix, and still be seen on Amazon, and all these wonderful streaming platforms that are out here now. So
yeah, fantastic. So so how can people get in touch with you?
yes, y'all. So I'm on all social media. Definitely Instagram the most, but Facebook as well. At Kimia Works, Kimia Works, right there on the screen. And definitely thank you for bringing up my YouTube, because I always forget to mention my YouTube. So YouTube, you can check me out there. I try to comment back as much as possible on all my platforms. Like my YouTube comments, I'll comment back. My Instagram DMs, I'll message back. Facebook, message back, and you know, comment back. So I like to be very active with the people that really support me, because I'm thankful and grateful for them, because you know, without the support of people, it makes it even harder.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. At Kimia Works, we'll get you just that everywhere.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I will, like to thank Kimia for you being on tonight. I'm looking forward to working with you again in the future. We've had some great opportunities in the past, and the future's going to be even better.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so mad I didn't hit you up for the Miserable Life, because I know you would have been right there. But I know you are a busy man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when it's coming out and helping to publicize it and everything. So I'll get involved in some way for sure.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So I want to let people know. First of all, I want to thank the people who are watching this live, as well as the people who are watching it on the replay. We want to mention that that ultimately this episode will be repurposed and will be seen on your favorite streaming platforms such as Spotify and others. So once again, thanks everybody for watching, and once again, thanks for Kimia. It's a great show. I think we've all learned a lot tonight about you and how you're so loyal to the Baltimore area. I think that's amazing. I think that's so great. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say good night, everybody, and don't forget to watch my subsequent shows.
Good night.
Night.